Open house, yes or no? So what is an open house? An open house is a scheduled time the homeowner and the realtor have agreed to have the property available for viewing by potential buyers. Here's a video from a realtor in Raleigh, North Carolina from 2022. I always thought it was from an open house. Now I'm not so sure, but take a look.
Okay everyone, so I am here showing my client a home, and I just want you to take a look at all of the people who are lined up to see this property. So when we say that there is a housing crisis, we really mean it. It's absolutely insane. The line goes all the way in the back. It's not even 5:30 fully, and someone stopped me and they wanted to know what was going on in the neighborhood, and I just told them the truth. I said, we're having a housing crisis, and this is a home that is priced under $300,000 here in the Raleigh area. And as you can see, there are just cars upon cars upon cars, and there are a ton of people that are trying to see this home. This is absolutely ridiculous. We have got to get control over these prices and the housing inventory.
I shared that video because it always stuck out to me about the housing market and inventory. I'll leave the link below. It is from Facebook in case you want to see the whole thing. Now back to the video. An open house can be any time of day, especially if it's a popular property. I remember when I first started in real estate, I would do evenings on rentals. I found that a lot of people generally worked between the hours of 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. So having an open house between 6 and 8 was the best time to allow multiple prospective clients time to get in, get the necessary information and documents to apply, and to also tour the property. It was so much easier to have the property open for 2 hours and be done for a few days than going back and forth to the property over and over all week. Open houses are an easy way for potential buyers to see homes on the market. You can even come with your agent. Here are some pros. An open house is a great low pressure way to show the house to potential buyers. It helps families too. Say for example, if one partner goes to the open house, they can alert the spouse whether or not they want to do an official showing and possibly move forward with an offer. A homeowner can have showings booked all day, and an open house can alleviate some of that and give the seller back some time in the home. When buyers come through an open house, they may also notice inconsistencies or details with the home that the seller forgot to mention. This helps the agent get the information back to the seller so it can be corrected pretty quickly. I remember once a seller had a fancy sliding back door. Okay, and it was nothing to them because they were used to it, but someone knew me, and even though I see a lot of homes, I wasn't able to operate it. Little things like that, because people are going to be coming in, and if they don't know how to operate that door, it can help if you have an open house, because buyers will pick up on things like that, and then that way the agent who's present can get that information over to the seller. We can leave a note on the door and we can prevent any mishaps. So that's how an open house can actually help sellers too. It's also a good way to give anonymous feedback to the seller. Do you think the kitchen should be brighter? Hate the paint in the hallway? Let the seller know. There's usually sheets at the open house where you can provide some feedback. An open house is also a good way to get rid of the looky-loos. We all know them. We've all been them. If you're an agent, it's a great way to get your clients out to tour the area. See if it fits their aesthetic. There's nothing worse than pulling up to a house and the buyers hate the area. Open houses get that out of the way. Open houses allow slower buyers a little more time to look at the house and the surrounding property rather than a shorter one-on-one appointment. At the height of the seller's market, when folks were not requesting inspections, the open houses allow a little more time to look around Folks were showing up to the open house with a flashlight. They were going to forego inspection, so they wanted to make sure that they had enough time to kind of look in the nooks and crannies. Just remember that homes that don't get shown don't get sold. If it's too hard to see the property, the buyer will likely move on. So an open house can help you with that. If several buyers are there and they see all the interest, you may get an offer sooner than later. That's a perk for an open house for a seller. Okay, I also want to give you some cons because, there's balance to everything, right? Okay, now let's talk about the cons. Number one, the looky-loos. Some people do not want their nosy neighbors in their homes. And to that I say, let them see, because maybe that's why you're moving. Let them have their last opportunity to see. Plus, buyers don't know the difference. All they see is competition. You may get an offer sooner than later. Those looky-loos may help. Another con is pets. If you have dogs, you have to get them out of the house. On my first listing, the family had more than 3 dogs, and they had to leave the house with the dogs every time in the winter. It was a major hassle. Believe it or not, open houses also help realtors that have multiple clients, because an agent can only be in one place at a time. But if there's an open house, the clients can go see the home and come back with their agent if they want more time in the property. And that's one of the biggest perks. You get more buyers to your property. I said it was a con. So why did I say that was a con? I don't know, because that's actually a perk. And lastly, due to safety and theft concerns, some sellers are hesitant to have groups of strangers walking through their home, and I get it. It's best to put away anything that can go in a pocket or a purse. I'm talking AirPods, medications, jewelry. You never know. I once turned in some AirPods to an agent during a broker's open, and that was just agents there, just to be safe. So the takeaways from this is an open house is a great way to show the house to a lot of people at once instead of one-by-one showings. An open house attracts interested buyers. It's a great marketing tool to use for a seller. So sellers, you do have to get the home in tip-top shape, but open houses work, and buyers, an open house is a great low investment way to scope out a home or a neighborhood of interest. If you met me at an open house, please say hi. If you can't get to an open house, but you love to look inside homes, I do have some tours here on the channel, so I will queue one up for you. My name is Tiffany Nelson. I'm a realtor here in the greater Allentown area. If you or someone you know needs a realtor, I would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. It's also a good way to get rid of the looky-loos. We all know them. We've all been them.